Okay.
Can you hear us, Ruby D?
Yes, sir.
How was it to be one of the early, you know what I mean? Early Puerto Ricans in this hip hop game, man. Like, cause you was a pioneer. That hip hop wasn't something that a lot of Puerto Ricans was doing at the time, correct?
That is correct. That's correct. It was an experience, just something that I just had to try it, and
How did you get into it? Who introduced you to hip hop? What got you? Who got you rapping?
well, you know what? I was coming from a baseball game in St. Mary's Park. And right there at Mars is where AJ and them lived at. They were playing. There was some music. I didn't know it was them. There was music there. And to be honest, a nice, beautiful young lady walked by and I followed her in. And as AJ was cutting the records, I could already envision when the next cut was coming in. And, I'm just kind of like, close your eyes and you know what's coming. And in one of those moments, I looked up and he called me over. And you know how that goes at the block parties. Once you go under the ropes, you were down.
AJ.
Now at this party, where was this party at?
This party was at the Morehouses.
The Morehouses. This
is St. Mary's Park.
That's where AJ used to live, 149th Street.
That's where AJ lived at. Yeah, him and Lovebug was over there.
Hey, can I tell you something real funny?
And at that party, was it mad? It was mad black people in there.
It was nothing but. It was nothing but.
Nothing but.
Nothing but. And in the dark, see me? I looked like I was black too. I could hear music, and I followed that music, into that music, and I bumped into the L Brothers. I bumped into the L Brothers.
63 Park, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Mean Cordio.
Mean Gene Cordio, Grand Wizard Theater, Theodore at the time. Kevy Kev, Robbie Rob, and Starsky. Those were the names at the time.
Busy B Starsky.
No, it used to be Starsky. Right. And then because Busy used to like to play on everybody's equipment. So Master Rob called him Busy B because he'd be going like pollinating everywhere he goes.
I never knew that.
That's how he got that name, Busy B.
That's butter.
And the funny thing, Jamal and fellas, I want to say this about AJ because his first MC was MC Kenny G.
Kenny G.
Yes. And I also want to let people know that AJ baby mama Jean lived in Morehouses. AJ actually lived with his grandmother across the street in 550 Caldwell, St. Mary's, on the second floor. I'm gonna tell you something. Guess who lived next door to AJ's grandmother?
Who?
Pigmeat Markham.
Whoa. I wish I had a bomb to drop right there, but
word up.
We'll just go with the clap and shit.
Avenue, that's where he lived at. Apartment 2A. She lived in apartment.
See, I think I think the frustration by people that are calling themselves foundational Black Americans. Really, I just want to say we're melanated people, first of all. I don't even like saying the word black.
Yes.
But anyway, there's a lot of frustration because it seems like every time we come up with something, there's always, outside forces that's trying to take some sort of credit away from us. Like we have no doubt that Puerto Ricans were there and contributing to what we were doing in the beginning. You know what I mean? But it's one thing to contribute to something, and it's another thing to actually have created it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's all that we're trying to say. Like Why do you think it's so important to right now, especially for a lot of Puerto Ricans, to feel like they have some sort of, I don't know, need to make some sort of stake
Can't hear
like
you
that?
too well.
What do you think that's about? Because a lot.
If I'm gonna jump ahead to even before what you're gonna ask, I don't like. It's like, let's say we're shooting a movie, right? People just want their credits up there.
Yes.
I just want my credit up there. That's all.
Right.
Because look at it now. There's bugs is rapping in every language you could possibly imagine.
Thank you.
Japanese, Chinese, Russian, Italian. We started some shit. It started with us.
FU2 said Fat Joe said Latinos created 50% of hip hop while on the Angie Martinez show a few weeks ago, which is where this convo became a topic. And that's really where this all started from. You know what I mean? And we're just trying to get some clarity from brothers that were there to where absolutely y'all contributed.
Mm-hmm.
But to say 50%.
Okay, let's get logical. How many DJ groups back in the day were there, and they were predominantly black? And there was how many DJs that were Hispanic, and how many of them? Like
a handful.
Yeah. So
having a Hispanic, having a Puerto Rican in your group was like a secret weapon. Like, yo, you know what I mean? Yo, I got a Puerto Rican in my group. Like, what? Like, yeah, and he's nice. You know what I mean? Like, that was like a fucking secret weapon. Just like later, it was a secret weapon to have a white boy because you didn't think necessarily that was for them. And so, because you knew offhand that this was some black shit. You know what I mean? But yes, other people can do it. And other people did do it. And the ones that was there early, now who I'm saying wasn't there was white people.
And misdocumenting things and saying that things that were not factual are factual. And they have become factual as a result of years of people co-signing the myths.
So let's get it right. Like when you say the myth, let's get into it. What myth are we talking about here? In your eyes?
Well, okay. So there were the majority of the people who were participants in early hip hop culture obviously were black, right? And there were sprinkles of Latins, Puerto Ricans mostly. I don't know any Dominicans who were actively involved in.
But they could have been because some of them looked like that, but they just wasn't representing Dominican. But they could have been.
Factual. Mm-hmm. I had two Dominican friends, Cheeky and Herman, that lived across the street, across the hall from me. But they lived across the hall from me before I got involved in hip hop. And then when I got involved in hip hop, they came to the parties every now and then.
But they wasn't really fucking
their thing, right? It wasn't their thing. They wasn't fucking with it. And I was listening to earlier, to y'all talking, and there was a time when, blacks and Puerto Ricans didn't rock with each other like that, to the point where, like, even if you were cool with some Puerto Ricans, you were cool with them when they wasn't around their people. Because when they was around their people, you was cocolo.
Exactly. Moreno, cocolo. Exactly.
You know what I mean? And even when I would go to like Bronx River Center, I was one of the few dudes from around my neighborhood, Lambert houses, that could go to Bronx River and not get robbed, because one of my OGs, rest in peace, Spider, was one of the Gestapo crew. And so he held me down, so I never got robbed when I went to Bronx River. So I went to Bronx River and I seen it all. And in Bronx River Center, like as far as B-boys is concerned, you know, even with the B-boy culture, there were sprinkles of, you know, Latino B-boys, but few. It was just a few.
And when we're talking B-boys, we're talking like break dancers and popping and electric boogaloo and all that.
Right. They do that upfront.
Because
there were many more.
Sha-Rock and I think DXT both describe themselves as nomadic B-boys and B-girls.
Right. Yes, because they were nomadic because they followed the playlist of whoever the DJ was that was playing the breaks, because that's what, you know, that's what compelled them to go to the parties in the first place.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they would go to the parties, you know, at first the way that Kool Herc played his music. First of all, Kool Herc, Coke LaRock, Clark Kent, Timmy Tim, Nigga Twins, salute. Gods of this.
Right.
They were the prototype, and every DJ, every hip hop DJ that called himself a hip hop DJ followed Kool Herc's playlist, right? And